Welcome back, everybody, and I hope y'all had a great weekend. We have items on basketball, snakes, and the Grand Ole Opry. My name's Ike Morgan, and we're down in Alabama. I hope y'all are doing better with your NCAA bracket than men's basketball teams from Alabama did in the real-life bracket, because 4 teams from Alabama have gone 1-4 in the NCAA Tournament, with the one win coming in a game where 2 of our teams played each other. Alabama and UAB lost their first-round games, as did Jacksonville State, which fell to second-seeded Auburn, the regular season SEC champ. Now, Auburn then turned around and lost to 10th-seeded Miami in the second round to end a season that saw the Tigers reach number 1 in the AP rankings for the first time ever. So now, the next thing the Tigers are bracing for, other than what in the world's going to happen with the football program after the offseason that they've been through, the next basketball thing is for freshman Jabari Smith to announce his decision regarding the NBA draft. He scored only 10 points in Sunday's loss to Miami, and when he was asked about whether he'd leave Auburn for the draft, he said, "I don't know yet." But he was a consensus All-American who could go as early as number 1 in the draft, and, as AL.com's Tom Green reports, you might be able to read the future in the past tense of Auburn coach Bruce Pearl's comments about Smith after the game. Quote, "He had a great experience at Auburn, and he made history at Auburn, so I'm obviously very, very proud of him." There is sign that the eastern indigo snake is breeding in the wild in Alabama, reports AL.com's Dennis Pillion. Now, we've told you here before that for the past several years, the snakes have been released into the Conecuh National Forest, and that the snakes grow up to 8 feet long. Now, that may indeed give one the willies, but it won't give one the same venomous bite that a cottonmouth or a copperhead will give one. And as a matter of fact, the eastern indigo will eat the cottonmouth and copperhead, so he's a pretty good friend to have. We all have friends that might seem a little creepy to some people. Well, now for only the second time since 1954, a biologist has found an eastern indigo that apparently is offspring of snakes that were reintroduced. Auburn grad student Francesco Erickson found both the snakes, the first one in 2020 and then the second one last week. The snake used to be found across the southeast, but now is mostly found in South Florida. It's listed as threatened on the endangered species list. The Grand Ole Opry has a brand new member, and he's from Montgomery, Alabama. On Saturday night, Opry star Whisperin' Bill Anderson gave the invite to Jamey Johnson during the show. Anderson asked Johnson how many times he had performed at the Opry as a guest. Now, it's been dozens and dozens of times, and told him that the management had decided that it would be his last night to appear as a guest. Johnson said, "I've been kicked out of a whole lot of places in my life," but the audience had already figured out what was going on and the applause had started. A couple things about Jamey. He doesn't hesitate to point out where he comes from, and he does a service when he's in Nashville by exposing the country music establishment to actual country music. It's always good to see him branching out in that direction. Thank y'all so much for listening. We'll be back here again tomorrow. Until then, stop by and see us anytime you can on the internet at AL.